What's up, guys? We are live. Hey, in this video, I'm going to say some stuff that I'm usually afraid to say because the tone's different. It's a little bit more aggressive, but it's the hard truth, and I want people to hear it. So, I'll start with a quote from a friend. Friend of mine, gym owner in Phoenix, actually sold his gym recently, but he's doing bigger and better stuff because of it. He's definitely leveled up. Mr. Michael Anders, that which is required cannot be perceived as inconvenient. That's kind of my theme today. That's what I wanted to talk about. That which is required cannot be perceived as inconvenient. If you want to see a change in your body, your mentality, your skills, your physique, if you want to see a change in your life, then you need to make a change. Continuing to doing the same results over and over, that's the definition of insanity, right? Right? Who knows that one? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So if you're still stuck in the same habits, you can't figure out why you aren't losing weight. You are, by definition, insane. So here I am. I'm calling you out. You are literally insane. You're doing the same things over and over again, and you expect a different result. We go through this yo-yo year after year, month after month. These ups and downs. We let the holidays take over. We let the summer take over. The kids' schedules, the not kids' schedules, the tax season for the accountants, like whatever the thing is, fill in the blank. It comes every single year. We expect it. We know it. I heard something recently saying that about every 18 months, somebody can expect a dramatic life event. So whether whether that's moving or for us, kids starting school the first time in kindergarten, or a death in the family, or relationship issues, car breaking down, buying a car, not necessarily because it broke down, but just, the finance that takes every 18 months on average, average American adult every 18 months is going to experience a large life change or a dramatic life event. So if we know it's going to happen every 18 months, then we shouldn't be surprised and use those as excuses. And so again, we tell ourselves this thing over and over again, this insanity mindset that like, oh, things will slow down, but we're not doing anything to make it slow down. We're not doing anything to get ahead of that. We already know it's coming, yet we pretend it's not. So again, you are by definition insane. That's my first one today. But I truly empathize for that. That's a tough spot to be in. I've been there more recently than I'd like to admit. I'll tell a longer version of this story very soon. I promise. And I keep saying that. But I made a huge shift in my mindset last year in October when I heard this quote by Michael Anders: "That which is required cannot be perceived as inconvenient." For me at that time, it was a business thing. There's certain things that I like to do here at the gym, certain jobs. There's certain jobs that I like a lesser amount to do. Uh, but more than likely, regardless of who you are in any industry, whether you're a business owner, you work at a job, you're a parent or whatever, like typically the hard thing that you don't want to do is probably going to be the most effective thing you can do. And so that's what was holding me back on a couple of things here at the gym in terms of like, I guess the business side of it was I was not doing the inconvenient things. I was uh, trying to be too convenient, trying to do only the things that I like. And, to some extent, yes, I can hire out some of that, but if I can't prove that I can do it first, how am I going to hire? How am I going to train? How am I going to hold somebody to a standard accountable? No, it works and doesn't work. So that was a big shift that I made. That was last October when I heard that. I've had it written on my wall for probably 9 out of the 12 months of the year. But let's flip it to health. If we look at health as an inconvenience, then we're absolutely screwed. 2025, it's built to be convenient. Technology is great. I love that technology has been invented. Um, and we've made strides everywhere in health and medicine technology, and super cool that I even get to be on a computer and talk to you guys and spread a message. Like, technology is wonderful, it's super cool. Okay, but obviously it comes with its challenges. Like, I don't want to walk 7 miles just to get to the gym from my house, from where I live, every single day. Like, I love being able to drive here, but that comes with stuff like that is obviously less steps overall. So um but we have to be really careful to not slip too far into this convenience trap. I have to log my nutrition. I have to go to the gym today. I have to drink my water. I have to get in my steps. I have to do this. Oh, I got to go work out today. Like, again, all of this feeling of inconvenient things to do is most likely the exact thing that you need to be doing. So again, if we perceive these habits or these steps as complete as inconvenient, we're not going to do them, and then we're stuck in the same yo-yo cycle up and down. So um, let's go back to those couple of quotes. I have to log my nutrition. I have to go to the gym today. I have to pick the kids up from school. I have to blah, 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 insert there. Like, I mean, burpees are a privilege. Like, I have to do burpees today. I mean, think about, imagine you were in a physical situation where you were physically unable to do a burpee. Maybe you were, you're in a wheelchair, or maybe, um, just, injuries or something like that, that you can't get on the ground. Like, you literally tripped and fell on the ground, you can't get up. I've talked about this a bunch before, but there's an entire company built around people with the inability to get up, targeted old age mostly, right? Life Alert. But if you can't do a burpee, there's huge issues. You're inconvenience to your family, like you're a burden to, burden to others around you because you can't do a burpee. So yes, they may not be our favorite movement at the gym, but if we consistently put this weight of like, I hate burpees, I don't want to do them, they're inconvenient, and I never do them, there is going to be a day where you can't do one, and it's a very serious issue. Insert that on all the movements we do here at the gym, but that's what I'm talking about here. Next step. Do you think winners complain about that, about those things? Do you think winners complain that they have to do those things? Do you think that's something a winner would say? Kind of like the Charlie Munger reverse it, right? Look at the um, what not to do. Like, how would I screw this whole thing up, and then do the opposite of that as as a strategy. Um, but I told you my tone would be different today. So not only are you, you're insane, but you're also doing the habits of a loser, right? So as we complain about these things and we say we have to do them, like, that's a losing mentality. That's why we're stuck in this yo-yo up and down. I heard this super cool quote and story, um, for sure a month ago, probably, maybe 4, 6 weeks ago. Alex Ramosi, he's a man. He used to be a gym owner. It's upgraded all the way through books, YouTube, all sorts of cool stuff. Really helps in the business world. Coaching business owners would be the easiest way I'd say it to you guys if you don't know who he is. I believe this was in a training manual he had for salesmen, but it started off of like, everybody wants to be in the top 1%. We all think that, like, yeah, I'm in the top 1% in my field. Again, he's talking to salespeople here that he's onboarding to the team. I want to be top 1% in my field, right? Being top 1% is way harder than you think. Like, that means you have to walk into a room full of 100 people and you have to win. I'm not saying a fight to the death, but whatever the thing is, like, you have to win. And so if we're talking about being elite, like, 1% really still isn't even that, still isn't considered elite, right? That's a room of 100 and winning against all 99 others. What about the 1% of the 1%? Just being top 0.1%. That's one in 1,000. Like, that's the size of a local high school, right? Like, walk into what's down the street, Northwest or Eaton or something like that, or Boyd, like, walk in and be like, I'm the top dog out of all of these people when it comes to my health. Like, that's a very elite position. And then a 1% of that, a 0.01%, one in 10,000, the size of a sports stadium, like, that's a lot of people to win against, and I don't think people realize how difficult that is. So if you wanna, let's just go back to the 1%, but, like, if you wanna be in the top 1%, if you wanna be elite, if you wanna be extraordinary, then you have to do things that are not ordinary. Your friends are gonna look at you weird, your family's not gonna understand, they're gonna question your your antics, right? Like, society's gonna guilt trip you into thinking you're a bad parent because you let your kids watch a tablet while you worked out. Like, that's, again, that's what's been built around it. Like, you're supposed to be weird, you're supposed to be different. Like, that's the whole goal. We want to be doing the thing that others are doing. Jerry Rice quote, today I will do what others won't. So tomorrow I do what others can't. I think I'm going to mess that up. But his concept is that, I'm going to practice in a way today. I'm going to do the habits today in a way that others aren't willing to do, so that tomorrow I'm going to get the results that others can't achieve because they didn't put that in. Okay. You're being insane. You got the habits of a loser, but you're also being selfish. Okay. Um, Putting others first, so much so that your own health is taking a hit, is actually being very selfish. You're hiding behind this notion of I'm selfless, I'm helping others, I'm not being a bad parent because I let my kid watch a tablet for an hour while I worked out. Like, putting your spouse first and stuff like that. Like, yes, we're kind people to others, but if we can't put our own oxygen mask on first before helping others, then we can't help others. It's going to be way better for you to take a little bit of time here in the next few months or even a whole year or 2 years to make yourself the best person that you can be so that you can give that to your spouse. You can give that to your kid. You can give that to your coworkers, to your friends, give that to the rest of your family. You're going to be way better off for the next 2 years, 8 years, 80 years. You're gonna be way better off in the years than the rest of your life if you can take care of yourself first. If you can put on your own oxygen mask first. I think you guys understand that analogy, but like if I reach down and start grabbing the oxygen mask and I'm trying to help the person next to me, but I pass out while doing it, what's the point? Now nobody got helped. Okay. That's why we have to take care of ourselves first. And so, actually, by feeling like you're selfless, you're actually being very selfish. Selfish in that you're getting to claim to be selfless, of, oh, I wouldn't do that, and putting others down when you're actually not even taking control. So, insane, loser, selfish. That's my hard tone for today. And I'll wrap it up here. Um, I hope my words were encouraging for you guys. I know that was, kind of a lot packed into just a few minutes, but I really want you guys to hear that these things that we label as inconvenient, that's a choice. We're choosing to use words. Even the word inconvenient that I've used for the last 11 minutes, that has a negative connotation to it. We said we have to do nutrition, and then I'm telling you just to suck it up a little bit, right? Like that's still not even the right way. Let's keep going with it one more. It's the I get to. You guys have heard me say this a million times before, but like I get to pick my kids up from school today. I get to sit in traffic. I get to sit in the carpool line to pick my kids up. How cool is it that I can leave work at a certain time today to be the one to pick my kids up? How cool is it that I have kids? How many people out there yearn for kids and are unable to? Right? Like we have all these things that like I have to. I mean, literally just the concept of living in America and even having the choice to work on our health or the choice to eat which version of meat we want to eat today for dinner. Like even that's such a privilege that we overlook time and time again. So hey, I want to leave you guys with that. Hey, if I helped you today, help me out. Last week we had 0 comments, 0 likes on the video. One person give me a comment, and I'll have that be my win for this week. Subscribe so you can learn more. And I'll leave you with this final note. Greatness takes what it takes. That's Trevor Mawad. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. That was Russell Wilson, quarterback guy. Russell Wilson, his mental skills coach. That's what he said. Greatness takes what it takes. So if you want to be that top 1%, if you want to be great, if you want to be excellent, if you want to be elite, if you want to be extraordinary, remember it's going to take extraordinary habits to be extraordinary. Extraordinary, it's going to take more than it is. So let's do it, guys. Go be great. And I'll see you guys next week.